Hello guys, thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe if you like my video, and be welcome to leave any comments. I appreciate it. I'm going to be talking about the worst case scenario of narcissism, the lowest form of narcissism, the most dangerous and the most debilitating type of narcissism. We all have bits of narcissist in us. We all have little traits, but not to the extent where it can harm people, where people don't have sort of their own, they don't have a sense, and they don't actually have a capability of being responsible for the actions that they take, which can be dangerous. And sometimes even on the other spectrum, on the other side of things with narcissism, they don't actually take care of themselves, which can be very, very dangerous for themselves and very detrimental to their health, as their hygiene regime isn't the best. It's really, really low. In my experience, I was with a narcissist that had no capability. He was at a state in his narcissistic time of being in a really bad place with his illness, and he was actually like a catatonic state of, like, I wouldn't say fully retarded. No, that's not what I'm saying. It was a type of retardism where he actually couldn't wash himself. He was like not taking his tablets properly, and also mixing drugs and, you know, sometimes alcohol. So this is what happens when a narcissist actually mixes chemicals and alcohol, and chooses he has a very sort of sense of himself as a unworthy person. And as the depression gets deeper, his childhood wounds, his childhood experiences start coming back when someone tries to take care of him or her, and they don't form a proper relationship. They can't actually connect on a level where it's good for them, and they don't see people being good to them. They see people as they're suspicious and paranoia. And when a narcissist is you know, taking drugs, chemicals, mixing with their you know, inability to make decisions as well, the paranoia just grows deeper and very, very seriously, and they get to a state where they can't move. They can't actually get up and have, you know, wash themselves, that you have to help them in the bath. I actually had to help my narcissist partner in the bath. I had to share a bath. I know it sounds funny, but I had to share this bath with him just so he could get clean. Because obviously, if you're in an intimate partnership and you are, you know, having intercourse, you need to be clean. And this person wasn't actually caring about his hygiene. And, you know, it's like looking after a child. It really is. You have to, you know, do everything for this person. You have to, you know, it's like going back in their years where they leave their socks and underpants everywhere all over the floor. And you know, this person, you can't be a mother to an adult, you know, person. And this person wasn't aware that they were just staring. You know, a narcissist stare, it's like there's nothing there. It's kind of nothing behind the eyes. And sometimes when, you know, when you look at somebody, you know, and they might stare because they're tired, you know, they might stare because they think you're beautiful and they just like looking at your face. But a narcissist stare is there's nothing there. It's just like there's nothing going on in that brain. There's nothing. They're numb. They you know, they switch off. It's like a robot just switching off. So it was impossible to, you know, even try and get this person to eat. It was impossible. This person was a catatonic, went in a catatonic state of mentally retardism at a point. And it's horrible because, like I say, you have to like pick them up, you have to help them up off the chair and stuff and get them to move, and they sit there staring into space. It's quite, you know, it's different. It's really different. I think I'm going to cry, you know, because I just, it was someone I loved, and it just kind of like, I found it so sad, you know. And this person had seen things in his childhood that, you know, he told me, and it's completely screwed his life up. It's completely screwed him up. And I can understand why narcissists become narcissists if it's not a genetic, you know, a lot of it is genetic, and their front lobes, you know, in their brain haven't developed properly. And if there's a, you know, a bad childhood in the mix, it does leave them absolutely, I can't say the word, where they're in a state of, they can't move, they just go it, they just like, there's, you know, they lay, and they don't look after themselves, they don't wash, they don't eat, you know, and they just go, they just like, it's like they're detaching from reality, and they'll stay in this zone. That's why some of them smoke so much weed and take drugs, because they can't handle reality, because their reality, they're stuck in the past constantly. And they, you know, obviously because they're narcissists, they do bad things, so they're constantly getting bad back, and they're constantly miserable. And no matter how much this, you know, a narcissist can have a great job. A narcissist, you know, at their best can have everything they want and everything they need. At the end of the day, it doesn't make any difference to a narcissist. A narcissist is never happy. A narcissist, you know, is greedy for materialistic things, greedy for money, greedy for things they want to buy. You know, they love, it's like shiny new toys. You know, it's like a kid in a store full of toys. You know, they're very materialistic, but it only lasts for a little while. They waste and gamble money. They just love, you know, using the money that they have, and they have to have things, you know, objects, things around them, and you are an object to them too, unfortunately. They don't see you as a human being, flesh person with a heart. You know, they actually see you as an object. They don't feel how you feel. They don't have empathy, and empathy is when you can feel, and you have sympathy, and you have empathy for somebody's feelings and who they are as a person. And, you know, they just don't have that. They don't have that. They don't have that feelings, the feelings that we have. They're like cold, stone cold. But what they can do, in effect, to that thing that is missing, that love that they can't give and they don't have, they mirror and sort of take on a persona of being in love and feeling love. And, you know, word for word, they will rehearse in their brains what they want to say to you, and they will be whoever you want them to be, and they will mirror you as you are, and they will copy you, and so that it's like a mirror image of each other. And, you know, it's only because they're copying and they're seeing who you are and how you talk and how you feel, they copy. That's all it is. It's not real. It's not authentic. It's not real. It's, you know, that's why they call them the plastic people. You know, that's why they call narcissists plastic people, because it's not coming from their place in their heart, their own feelings. They don't have the feelings that we have, and they don't actually feel, you know, any empathy and guilt like we do. They just think, well, so what, you know, and they move on so quickly. That's why they move on quickly, because they don't actually feel, and they lie about how they feel. They want to feel, they want to be in love with you, they want to do things with you, they want to be real, they don't like faking, but there's no other way. That's who they are, and that's what a narcissist is. It's a person that isn't real and does not admit to who they really are. It's the way their brain has been made, that, you know, it's the chemical imbalance, it's the wiring of the brain that is different to ours. They're different, and they're very, very like reptilian, like cold blood. You know, I'm not being impersonal, I'm just, this is why people say that narcissists are reptilian, cold-blooded, because at the end of the day, they can't feel love. They don't have that warm feeling that we have, and, you know, it isn't anything to them. They don't know how to feel how we feel and how the pain they cause. They don't know how to get their head around that. They don't know how to be like a normal, average, caring person. That, you know, it's quite a dangerous, you know, it can be dangerous, a disability. So a lot of the times, you know, they're in and out of hospitals, mental hospitals, because, you know, they go to criminal sides. They'll do criminal acts, because they numb with drugs, and so they can't live a normal sort of life. If they get into a good job, they're getting, you know, doing well, it always ends up with there's drama, so much drama going on in their lives, and they love the attention. They're so wanting attention, any attention. It can be bad attention. If you have a go at him, if someone's shouting and screaming at him, that's attention. You know, a lot of us don't like that. A lot of us don't like dramatic, you know, fueled and fired, toxic relationships where it brings us down because we're getting shouted at. It brings us down because we're in arguments all the time. You know, you know, it debilitates us and makes us like really withdrawn, and it gets us into a depressive state if you're constantly being shouted at and arguing and being in a domestic, you know, constant toxic relationship with somebody. But these people thrive on it. This is the sort of thing that they thrive on. It's opposite to us. They love that sort of chaotic, dramatic, drug-fueled, you know, dodgy dealings with money, you know, stealing, doing everything that is going against the grain of, like, the Ten Commandments, say, for instance, in the Bible. They're completely opposite. It's like they're sold to the devil, basically. A narcissist has sold, right, before they're even born. They've sold their soul to the devil, and this is why that, you know, we say that, you know, narcissists are like the devil, because they relish in devilish, you know, evil sort of thinking and doing bad things that hurt people, get people into trouble and get themselves into trouble, dealings with guns, you know, dealings with all the sort of things that you would think that you'd stay away with because you want to just like live a good life as, you know, as possible while you're here. These people actually, you know, go to lengths of where they do bad things. They do bad things for money. They get, you know, into a lot of trouble with the law, and, you know, they're very dangerous sort of people. So, I mean, a narcissist on the other spectrum of the narcissism illness trait is that they can have a good life. They can have an actual, you know, some narcissists can make good businessmen, and they're thriving because they have the ability and have that they have that mindset where, you know, they're like, they can be bosses, you know, they're their own business people, and in that way it's good for them. And what they do, they know who they are, and they use their you know, that coldness, that ability to sell, you know, and get business and be, you know, thriving in a business, because they're so you know, they're very, very, they believe in themselves, and they're very self-confident, and, you know, because they have big egos, narcissists, so some of them can actually use that and not be like, can stay on a level where, you know, these people don't use drugs and they thrive, and they don't have a mental illness like schizophrenia, borderline personality, and other sociopathic mental illnesses alongside with their narcissism. They just have a narcissistic trait in them, and they use it to build up a business and be very successful. So yes, there are narcissists that are very successful, but the ones that have a catatonic retardism alongside, you know, they're going to be like that sometimes and throughout their life, because their attachments are, you know, they come along with different other mental health issues. So, you know, that must be really hard, but they don't know any other way. They like the hard way. They like, you know, what they do, and they feel that, you know, they don't want to change, and they shouldn't. There's no reason for them to change, because that's how they like to be. That's all they know. That's all they know. So, it's quite sad. It is sad, but if you sort of feel sorry for the narcissist, like I did, and had sympathy, they laugh at you and they take it the other way round. They take it the wrong way and see you as stupid and thick, and you know, why do you feel sorry for someone like a bastard or bitch like me? Excuse my language, but that's how they think. Why you know, I'm horrible to you. You know, you're doing all this for me, but I don't really appreciate it. This is what they're thinking. So when you give them sympathy, they'll just tread on you even more, because they see you as, it's like an animal that picks on the weakest one of the bunch. You know, the weakest one that's got a bad leg, and you know that they'll be shunned out of the pack because it's the weakest one. It's narcissists are the same. If they see your kindness as weakness, and they use it against you, and they will go against you for that, because they can see you as weak, and they don't want someone weak. They want a challenge. They want, you know, to fight with you. And if you don't fight back, and if you're depleted from the energies of their dramatic fighting and drama all the time, they will see you as nothing else but trash and depleted energy. You're no good to them. So that's why they go on to get another person the next time round that has and can meet their needs, because they're having a tantrum because you're not giving them what they want. So they'll punish you, and they will go for somebody else, and they even like show you who they are in front of you when they've dumped you and left you for dead, because you're so exhausted, because they want so much sex all the time, because 9 times out of 10 narcissists have so many addictions, and one of them is sex. It's just like their other addictions. It's like sex addiction is like the drug addiction they have, and gambling addictions 9 times out of 10. So, you know, it's nothing to them to just, they hate you for it. They think you're no good to me. I don't want to be with you. You know, I'm needing things. I'm needing sex. You should be, you know, serving me. You should be giving me what I need, and I'm going to go on to something shiny and new. What glitters is gold to me. I like that shiny new toy, that beautiful woman or beautiful man over there that looks even better than you now, because you're no good to me, because I've made you ugly. I've made you, you know, depressed, and you've got no personality. You can't talk to me properly, and you can't give me sex, so goodbye. And they will. And it doesn't matter how physically they've hurt you. They don't even come back to actually see what they've done physically and mentally to you. So, you know, it is a dangerous, very dangerous, you know, thing to have, this narcissism. And so the way they just discard people like rubbish. So you could be the nicest person, and, you know, you could be Princess Lourdes. You could be, you know, say someone like, I don't know, like Madonna or Jennifer Lopez. And they'd love it at first, but they'll still treat that person the same, because they're like robots. They don't, you know, they'll have faults in that person, you know, and they don't know how to appreciate anything they've got. They could have a good car, you know, and have a wife, children, house. It's still not good enough. It's still not enough. That's why these narcissists have a double life. You know, like my, you know, ex-partner did. He was with me just to sort of like recover from things that he went through. Needed a friend, needed sex, needed a place to recuperate, and my place is very quiet, and I gave him a lot of attention. You know, like I said, I've done loads of things for that person. I treated that person like royalty, and you know, some of these, you know, in my mind, I think sometimes they don't have a bad childhood. They some of them are just so highly spoiled. They, you know, have narcissistic parents that just throw money at them, and they don't want to give them time and energy, and they've abandoned them or done something. You know, they're equivalent to the emotional needs that they need and don't get emotionally growing up, because all, you know, you need to nurture your children, but they don't get any of that, so they replace it with money. That's why they're materialistic, and that's some of the time narcissists are women haters, because their mother abandoned them, or mother chose, you know, men that they've been with over them, so they didn't get the attention and love that they needed. So they grew up thinking, well, you know, this is how I treat women. This is how my mum treated me, without no attention, no love. You know, she shit on me behind my back because she went, you know, with all these men or whatever, this example, and, you know, didn't give me any attention, didn't feed me properly, didn't, just left me for days on my own. And this is why they get angry and they fester, and their anger comes out in relationships with women, and they are very violent, they're very, very, very unfaithful, and two-faced, and will live a double life and go off and cheat and use women's bodies, you know, as, you know, for sex, and would discard them like they're shit and they don't mean nothing. That's how these narcissists treat. I've been treated the same. So this is why I'm, you know, sharing my experience, and I, you know, I'm sure there's a lot of you that are watching this video have experienced the same. So and if you haven't, if you're watching this video, then this is, you know, this is what narcissism is all about. So, you know, they're angry, they're very fiercely angry people, and they will break out into rages that are just absolutely, they will have like the biggest rage fits. If things are not going their way, if they're, you know, something will trigger them. If they're triggered, then, you know, they're just going to go off and just have a rage, and they'll smash your house up, they'll smash things up, they'll smash somebody's car up, they'll just have this fit of rage, they'll put you in danger, they'll put their foot down on the car, and then, like, they don't even care about their own selves, their lives, you know, and they don't care about you either. If they don't care about themselves, if they're not caring about, you know, the dangers, you know, they're putting themselves through, they're not going to care about you and putting you in danger. Like my ex-partner put me in danger, and went along, you know, in the car, and was actually going to try and kill us, I believe, because the speed limit that he was going, I just was like, this is my end. I thought it was my time. So this is, you know, what they do to you. They you know, and they get off on it. They get off on the adrenaline of making you feel scared. And it's sick, and they do have sickness, you know. And so, you know, if you're with a narcissist, you have to be so careful. You have to, you know what you're dealing with, know how to deal with this person. If you know, it's possible to have a marriage, a relationship with a narcissist, but 9 times out of 10, you're not. If you want to be trodden down, you'll be trodden down, you'll be put down, you'll feel miserable, you won't trust that person. But some people live like that, and they sacrifice their happiness because of the love they have for this narcissist. And this narcissist won't change just because this person unconditionally loves them. Like I loved my narcissist partner. You know, I was the perfect person for that, you know, partner. I was, you know, I didn't sort of shout back most of the time. I did in the end, because I was depleted, absolutely exhausted, and I needed to stand up for myself. And that's when they think, well, fuck you then. You know, you're not going to play my game, you're not going to play it my way, you're not going to do what I do, you're not going to do it how I do it, you're not going to listen to what I say. If you go, you know, if you defeat the narcissist, if you even try to go against them and not go along with their plans, and not go along with what, you know, they're just so controlling, and even more controlling, and they get so controlling that you know, they're expecting you to think their way and speak like them and think like them and do everything they want, and there's no question about it. That's the life you'll live. So, you know, it is okay for the wife to actually let this person do what they want, because they know that they'll just get drama. And if they have kids involved, you know, if this narcissist has kids, then they still just let them go. As long as they're giving them money, their wife will let them go, and because they know that they don't have any choice, you know, and they come back when they want, you know, and they just let them come and go, you know, because if you don't, then you have to go. You're out. You know, the narcissist is just not going to do anything for you. He's not going to look after the kids, not going to give you any money. If you don't stay in that house, if you don't, you know, if you complain, you don't give them sex, they'll just go somewhere else and they'll leave that. They won't think twice about leaving their, you know, wife and kids. They don't mean nothing to them. They're objects, and they're just playing the part of a good family man most of the time. And, you know, they want to win at all costs. So leaving their kids and leaving their wife behind, if you don't comply in what they do and want and say, and, you know, the things they want, you know, if you won't let them come and go as they please and do whatever they want, because they go against the grain, they go against law, they go above the law, and they think they're the law sometimes. And so you know, for the wife, it's like they live a separate life, really. They, you know, bringing kids up on their own. They're really on their own in a narcissistic relationship, emotionally, and they feel lonely. So you know, it's probably a sort of a, in a way, if it's not talked of and talked about what relationship they're in with, and they both know the score, basically. The wife knows the narcissist and knows what's going on with this person, their husband, and they know they're going out cheating. And for them to come back, you know, they'll let them come back, as like I said, as long as they're giving something like money and you know, they're having sex. Then and you know, they take the children out sometimes, because sometimes narcissists just want to break and they want to play their family man and want to look like that, you know, because they want their friends, family and other people to see them as normal, and that they can actually live a normal, happy life. But that's not the case. It's just an act. It's all an act. So this is my video on narcissistic, the narcissist, and I hope you got something from this video. I hope it's helped. And please like and subscribe. Love you all. Thank you for watching. Bye.